if you if you in if you wish to go on in the journey of going to God, the best strategy is to start to create a space in your life which you fill with consciousness about this journey. And if, for example, at some time in the day, you and your girlfriends, lady friends, were to share, say, the reading of the Gospel of Ramakrishna, and then share a contemplation meditation, contemplate on the different qualities of realization together, like on compassion one day, on love on another, and so on. And then start to build into your life just these little reminders and ways of becoming a little more conscious. Chant or sing together in the evening, or do some things like that. That will start to put into perspective the importance of all of the rest of your activities that are at the moment very real and solid for you. Because you'll start to have experiences in your meditations that will change the need or the desire for the kinds of fulfillments you've been getting through food or sex or socializing or dope or whatever it is you've been doing. And rather than this kind of violent, no, it's not good, stop it, I think that's a very unrealistic strategy. I think a much more optimum strategy is just start to fill your life with where it is you're going to. If you're truly saying, I want it, then start to create spaces for it in your life and let the rest of the stuff take its course as it will for the time being anyway. Is that fair enough?
We're sort of starting to, like I said, we're just sort of traveling. We're here visiting for a little while. And there's really nothing pulling on us. And we're not doing any dope. And like we're just realizing we're not really doing much in the way of sex either. And still sort of, beginning to see God and everything and every experience and everything that's happening, yet there's just still not a sort of thing that's cementing it together.
Yeah. Well, in the space you're in,
I mean, we're ready. We're ready, yeah. But there's just not that thing happening.
Well, see, that's a kind of a paradox, because if you are ready, it starts to happen. There isn't any, the idea of wanting somebody else to make it happen for you is reflecting the fact that you aren't really wanting it fully to happen yet, or you'd create a space in which it would happen. I mean, even the fact that you're moving around, if you want, like I'll go off and take my Volkswagen camper out to the desert for 6 weeks. And in those 6 weeks, I'll create a space where I can go into all kinds of inner stuff. You can just go into a closet and close the door, and you'll confront more stuff than you would in 100 years of sort of floating around looking for teachers. I think that you have to, first of all, be brutally honest with yourself about your own motivations, because somebody that's waiting to have it done to them is, in a sense, kidding themselves a little bit. Because I think the first act, the first effort has to be your effort. And I don't think it's enough just to go and hand yourself over to somebody. I think it's an effort of attempting to change the perceptual vantage point of your life a little bit. And that's the hardest one, because your life is nice, and we've all learned how to make nice lives, or easy lives, or comfortable lives. Am I dealing with your question at all?
Yeah, in truth, our life is really, it's not nice and it's not easy. We are really in this space where, we trust the things that have come out through reading The Only Dance There Is and Be Here Now, and listening to some of your tapes and stuff. And like a lot of other people who are doing their things, it feels good and we learn and stuff. And it's just like we just don't go into anything full blown. I mean, there's just like always a pull not to, but yet with the things that you are putting out, we don't hold back.
Mm-hmm.
Yet there's just something that we're not connecting on.
I understand. What is it you want, you think?
Pardon me?
What are you asking for, do you think?
What are we asking for?
Yeah.
To we work with you.
That's what I thought you were asking for. Why don't you drop me a note and remind me of this conversation,
Okay.
and we'll see what happens.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping we would come to that. Hello.
Hello, Baba G.
Yeah.
How does one overcome the negativity of the people around him when when one is full of energy and wants to radiate love and joy and awareness, but when he approaches a being, they will not look him in the face or he smiles at him.
Yeah.
They think he has some ulterior motive. They say this guy wants to do something to me, or better watch him.
Yeah.
So how do you overcome these difficulties? Because after a while, you become negative because they're negative towards you.
Mm. Yeah, I hear your predicament exactly. One of the things you learn along the way in this dance is that it really isn't possible to lay a trip on another being. I mean, you can do it, but there are going to be incredible repercussions, as you're finding out, or feedback or flack from it. And you learn to become what you are and let that go forth. It's like throwing bread upon the waters. And if somebody doesn't respond to it, you see it with compassion as their predicament. And whether you buy it back or not, that's your work on yourself.
Oh.
See, like you're saying, I'll give you a gift if you give me a gift back. And your game now is to just become the gift of love and light and peace and joy and just be it. Whoever dances with it was ready to dance with it. Whoever doesn't, you have compassion for them and you love them. Because imagine how horrible it is to be in their world where they can't experience the joy from another human being or the love that's coming from another human being. And that brings out your compassion, and all you can do is love them more. But that's their predicament, and you don't have to change anybody, because in fact you really can't. You can merely be a statement of it. You become like a beautiful shade tree that anybody that is ready can come under and get shade from. But if they're not, you don't go out with tentacles and grab them and pull them under the shade tree. So that you create an environment everywhere you go where anybody that's ready to become love, light, and joy, immediately when they come into your vibrational space, they get it. But at the same moment, if they're not ready, you bless them and love them and have compassion towards them.
Well, this is hard to uphold. Like sometimes, I figured I should go out there incognito because if I try, I know it's going to have some, adverse effects on me.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I try to absorb, but I get sick.
You get sick?
Yeah, if I try.
Yeah, well, that's because, see, you don't know how to get rid of the stuff when you get it. There's a whole process of clearing yourself. Because I know, see, it's very delicate to be a really open human being and pick up all this stuff that comes from the environment and not get caught with it. It's one thing if there are different ways in which you pick up stuff. Sometimes you say to somebody, look, if you've got a heavy thing like anger or something, give it to me. I'll take it. Like I say to a lot of people, just say, here, Ramdas, you take it, and then give it up to me, and I will take it. And they say, won't you get stuck with it? And I'll say, no, because you gave it up. I didn't take it from you. If I take it from you, I get stuck with it. If you give it to me, it goes right through me and goes right up to God. I don't get stuck with it at all. Now, I don't take stuff from people, so I don't get stuck with it. But subtly, you do sometimes when you're walking down the street. You look at somebody and you feel pity. You've picked up that stuff from them. Any number of emotions you pick up.
Right.
And what you've got to learn is how to do breathing to clear and to offer up this stuff. And if you just start to take in deep breaths, and with each deep breath, just say, here, take this heaviness, here, take this pain, this anger, take whatever it is, and just keep offering it to Kali or to me or to God or to Christ or to whoever it is you feel tuned to. Then you're offering the stuff up that you've collected and you're getting rid of it. Because you're saying, look, it's not getting me to God. I want to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Okay? No matter where it came from.
The truth is to realize you don't want it. When you realize that you don't want it yourself, then it goes out of you very quickly.
Yeah.
A lot of times we pick stuff up and we have a subtle, we dig taking stuff from people. And in that way we want it. So you have to realize you don't want it and let it go.
I have to realize that I don't want it.
Yeah. But you just want to let it go.
And the technique is to take deep breaths.
Take deep breaths, and with each out breath, give it up. And then consciously say, here, Christ, you take it, or whoever you're offering it to. Here, you take it.
But is there a method of purifying it, like doing the meditation, like sending it to the plane of fire and trying to purify it there?
Well, the other way is to take that energy, if you can do it, and you breathe in through your heart, take all that junk, and take it up through your head and go out the top of your head and go up to God on that energy. In other words, you take the energy and you use it to go up on. See, that's when you,
to go up on?
Yeah, you can take the energy and convert it and use it to go up on. See, that's what I do. I feed on a lot of negative energy. Because ultimately, you don't get caught in the content. You just get the energy out of it. Like if somebody says, you son of a, and they're screaming at you, that's just pure energy coming at you. If you get caught in the content of it, that's your hang-up. But if you just take the energy and go right up on it, you can use it just the way it is.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for calling.
Go ahead. You want to say something? Go ahead.
Well, it's best, like he mentioned something about taking up to the plane of fire.
Yeah.
And that's tricky stuff.
Talk about it.
Well, it's tricky stuff going into other planes before you know yourself too well.
Because you intensify the negative energy.
Yeah, you may be doing that.
Yeah.
And instead of really getting rid of it and purifying it, you're blowing up stuff in yourself that you're not quite aware of by going up into another plane with a load, with a lot of baggage.
Yeah. I think probably for him it would be better to just breathe it out.
Let it go, yeah.
Yeah.
Breathe it out.
We have maybe time for one more call.
Okay.
The station goes off the air at 1. Maybe next time you're here, we'll have our own radio station that we can go on.
That happens with us all the time. No matter how many hours we have, it's always the same predicament.
6.5 hours once?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello, Ramdas.
Yes.
I have been much influenced by Jane Roberts' books, the Seth books. And I really do believe now, and the shoots are coming up from that seed, that I am the creator of all my reality. And that what you call coming to God is letting my higher self fuse with the lower self and letting it do the creating. And I'm wondering whether having to suffer, going through suffering and pain in order to grow isn't a core belief that we have programmed ourselves into, and that when we can let that go, we can open ourselves up to grace, and that it isn't a necessary prerequisite to coming to God.
It is not a necessary prerequisite to coming to God. That is true. Suffering is not a necessary prerequisite. It's a very speedy vehicle, but it's not a necessary prerequisite. That's true. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Like being able to have you with us.
It's fun to share space so gently, isn't it? Well, I really, I get very much bliss just from the connection with all the beings who are listening. It's like a network of...
we do every week.
Yeah, I can see why you do. It's very far out because I can feel audiences now on the radio, you know? I do different kinds of shows and the vibrations are entirely different.
Isn't our family nice?
Yeah, it is nice. Yeah.